Hey, how you doing? All right, let's do it to it. Got to turn that board. This is a game between Tatev as white and Maggie Fang as black. She actually won here. Maggie won against Tatev with the French defense. So it was the poison pawn variation of the Winnier. So I thought it'd be a good example of to look at the Winnier variation of the French. And so we'll do that right now. Alrighty then. E4, E6, D4, D5, and then of course you know what the winner is here. Here, E5, knight E7, E3, takes, B takes, C5, Queen G4, castles is what was actually played. And then bishop d6. She castled right into an attack, which what I didn't understand about Maggie is poison pawn variation allows for you actually have a better chance to leave it on the king side here, and after this here you play knight b d7, queen takes. Then you come like this. Sorry, apologize. I took too much for white. It's actually here, here. Oops, right there, here. And if this gets taken here, then what you can actually do is trade off and play. I think it's. I have to remember if it's knight D. I gotta remember which move it is. I have to see. 'Cause sometimes the engine will actually tell you. Okay, knight here, and if he takes there, well, that's a mistake, because this totally wins. Right here, knight takes, and he can't take because of the rook. That's right. That's it. If he takes here, you grab the rook. That's right. So it is here. Gotcha. So he actually plays back, and there's a lot of different lines that potentially can arise out of it. But castling is actually the most meek out of all the lines, because it's what you're saying is, I'm okay with my position. I've weakened white, and I'm going to play against your weakness. Which the weakness is the C pawn. So there. There's actually this move here, but yeah, gotta be careful because that lands right in the kisser right there. Kaboom! And now these points here are weak. So that's why she dropped the knight in G6. Knight F3 and Queen C7. Queen Bishop E3 and then C4. This now usually the knight sometimes stays. That's when the knight stays here, because then the bishop would actually go back to E2. But when you plant your bishop where Maggie did, you actually have to take. And this time she took away away from the center, so that her rook would be opened. Queen G4, Bishop F7. Knight G5, E8. and then H4. Here comes Harry, and I loved when Tatev did that. She threw Harry up the board. I'm like, yes, we got a Harry. We got somebody who likes Harry like Grandmaster Simon Williams does. Yay! So H6. A lot of the grandmasters like Harry, but they hold Harry back sometimes, and then Harry's like, "Why don't you push me? Why don't you push me?" Some don't push Harry. He could be your hero if you pushed him. He can go right up that board. H3, and Harry's like, he's like, "Don't be scared." You know, like when some people are scared of pushing Harry. He's crying out, "Yeah, hello. Don't be scared. I'm here to help." We're talking about Harry the H pawn. How Tatev facing Maggie Fang in the women's championship US. She actually played the French defense Winnier poison pawn variation. A type of it. B5. And because you in the poison pawn Winnier, the pure one that Bobby loved to play against, you always kept your king here and you castled actually queenside. At that moment, you castle queenside. Because what happens is you want to play against it's not the good bishop. You want to trade off this bishop. In some lines, you can actually trade this light square bishop off, and that's going to kind of bog down Maggie the entire game. Her bishop, her light square bishop, because that's the bad bishop in the French. Oh yeah, if you have any games you would like to go over, because I mentioned it last night. If you have any games that you brought, just put them in, and we'll do some puzzles, and then we'll go over them. So don't worry, we'll get to them, because it's all about learning. Knight E7. This is the only way to hold on to this pawn. I gotta say, Tatev put tons and tons of pressure on Maggie, but she held, and that's what actually gave her the victory. B takes C1. This she won a pawn too. Bishop F. So now Tatev's good knight versus Maggie's bad bishop. In theory, this should actually win for Tatev because of how good her knight is. But Maggie does have a passed A5 pawn, so that kind of is a perk in the position. Bishop D. I'm almost thinking this should end up a potential draw here. But now, see, this rook is really powerful guarding the 7th. I mean, the whole B file. King E3, knight A6, rook G1. I don't know why she gave up the open file. I don't know if that was such a wise decision. You can actually play with your knights in that line, and then if it comes over here, you could come there. You always have the also have the ability of basically if here you have this line too. Just keep this open file. Don't let anything, and just choke down and hold. I want to see what they if they think that not rook b4 was actually best. What do they think of this move here? Oh, it's good. And they just hold. See, it's a draw. And there's really no way for Maggie to make any progress here. But this move here is okay too, but it surrendered the open file. And g5 was played. So that was a problem piece there. You could actually take here. If you take there, it's just come back and you've won a pawn. Thinking, if can you actually take this pawn? Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly this is winning. More of a draw though still. Yeah, it should have ended in a draw. If takes here, king takes, and at this point you do have to be careful with taking like this. And then up the board they can go, but when she won these two pawns is when she won the game. See how we all doing? Good, we're here. All right. Are we ready? All right. Let's do it to it. Okay. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Let's take some time to analyze the position. First of all, I'm kind of looking at d5 is an interesting move. Pawn d5 to set up for a bishop e6, or maybe queen, because there is a check here. Queen g4 check. We can't. Anything else that we can do? Well, there is or knight d5. That is an interesting move. Knight d5 to go to f6. Those are interesting moves. Try to find at least 3 candidate moves. let's take a look at the queen move because that's the most forcing. We'll take a look at queen g4 first. Queen g4 check. King d7. Queen. We can't go. Okay, can we actually take? I think we could take the pawn. Queen takes. Nope. Well, yeah, we could because the rook protects the bishop. Queen takes g5, check. And if king. Wow, you got a good line there. Wow. Let's see. Queen g4, king e7, queen takes. Yep, that's right. King f5, bishop g. Oh yeah, bishop g5. That's right. Yep, let's go with that. Well, nice work there, Eerie. I think you got it. I think that is mate. Let's see. Are we missing any spots they can go to? No, 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 no. That's mate. Nice work. Nice job. Nice job, team. Excellent work. Okay. The hardest part sometimes when the pieces get actually less, because it's easier sometimes when you have more pieces, because then you have more resources to get to. I've noticed that. So here we have to, when you get low in pieces, you have to get creative, really creative as a chess player. But if you have any games you want to go over, or you're thinking you want to go over, you can sort through them and post them on allychess.org, and you can input them into the thing and then post or go up there and copy the thing, put it in, and we'll go over it. Because I'm more than happy to go over the games and analyze them, because they're always fun. Those games are always fun to go over. I really like going over games. There's so much you can learn from them. Jeremy Silman even talks about that. D4, okay. So we have two moves that we are that have been proposed. We have rook takes f1 and d4. Okay. So rook takes f1. Let's see, d4 has a. Let me see what's wrong. I think the reason d4 may have a. Let me see, d4. If we play d4, I'm looking to see. I think the problem with d4, Eerie, is it blocks. I think it blocks your bishop, your bishop. It blocks your bishop. It blocks your bishop. See, you wouldn't be able to go to, let's say you wanted to do some like checks or something. It would block your bishop. if you try to like pull the king around, you are losing out on an attacker on d4 here. So you can like maybe if you draw the king away, you like what 360 said about taking on f1. King takes f1. Yeah, bishop b5, check, and then if f2, or if he goes or f2, that's right. You have bishop d4. But if a pawn was there, then you wouldn't have a bishop to bring more reinforcements. And my teacher taught me that you have to have at least 3 pieces when it comes to minor pieces. A queen and a pawn can mate a king, and a queen and a knight. Because if you think about it, a queen has the power of a rook and bishop. If you think about it, so a queen is like 2 pieces. That's why a pawn and a queen can work together to mate, is because a queen is like a rook and a bishop. So it's like having 3 pieces. But because we don't have a queen, we have to use all of our minor pieces to their max efficiency, and that's why we really don't want to close up our diagonal. We have to first take like what we all decided, and I'll even go over the d4 pawn after this. We'll go into analysis mode. It's vital that you don't ever block the power of any of your pieces. Even though it looks like it might be winning, like with a discovery, weigh the odds, or weigh the value of that piece. If you push d4, does your Darsford bishop lose a lot of its power? Yeah, because it loses the h8 to a1 diagonal that it can move across. That's why chess is so cool. It's also one of the different as lines too. Yeah, there, king at f2, bishop, oh, king g2, okay. So he didn't go f2, he went g2. We win a queen. I think we win a queen here. If we play rook, e2, e2 check, queen takes, e2, bishop takes, e2. And now we hold. Yeah. Okay, let's go over d4, because I believe you actually, it loses its teeth. Let me see here f2. Okay, d4. It is interesting. I think it has something to do with oh, I was totally wrong. It's actually because of check. Is it c4 or b4? Oh, c4. So I was right. Pardon me, allergies. Pardon me. And so it's actually, it does block this. Thank you. Undiscovers the attack. It's still playable. It still would be playable, but you would not be able to win the game. Basically, it's still playable. So your move is your move is still playable. So it's just it doesn't win the queen. It doesn't have a tactic that ends up winning the queen. So it is playable, which is good. So don't think your move wasn't playable. It just would be harder to win. You'd have to be really precise on your moves, almost computer-like. which means no errors. You can't hang any pieces, and you just have to play really, really, really accurate. Tactics, I understand you have to play accurate on too, but I don't know if with when you're dealing with a queen, and even though you may have like 8 pawns for the queen, I don't know if it's adequate enough. In some of the books they say that like a rook and bishop and pawn equals a queen. It's debatable. And you always got to ask if your opponent plays a kind of different move. Always ask yourself, why did they play that move? And then you won't get trapped, or you won't get checkmated. It's sometimes they play moves, subtle moves. So a7. Let me see. a7. Bishop g2. 7. Rook d2. Bishop d5. Hey, how you doing? Yep. So let's see, a4, because this is actually a good move. Okay, then now we're gonna follow along. So bishop d7 would be good here. Rook. So a7 we first played. Rook, our pawn, d7. Rook d2. Bishop d5. Rook takes d5. Oh, yeah, wow, that's a really good move. You're actually using an interference move. Nice. Bishop d5, you're using interference. Oops, wow, we gotta be careful here. Okay. um, I think f8 is the only move that has any checks to it. Queen f8. Because we can't take the bishop. Rook d8, we intercept, and it's a draw. So this has to be the only move here. Let's see. Well, I guess there's again only one move that we can play. It would be queen g8 check. And then if he went back, oh yeah, we win the rook. This is how we win the rook. Queen g8 check. If king h6, which would be a mistake, you can actually play. Let me see here. What was that move that I was looking at? Let's see. There, queen f. No, did I overlook something? Let's see. Was it queen f6? Ah, queen f6, king h2. Oh, that's it. That is it. I knew it. Yeah, free rook. I knew it. I just had to. Sometimes I have to get that visualization mind in there. f6 check, king h5, and then queen f5 check, which is a fork. Whoa, he actually did that. Wow. I think now we get a bishop. I think we can actually take the bishop here. He's given us a bishop. Or is there anything more that we can? Can we actually take the bishop here? Queen takes g2. Queen takes g2 is interesting. Yeah, let's just grab it. It's a free bishop. Yeah, just grab the bishop. Because if we tried checking, he's just going to get closer to his bishop. This was our time to win a piece. I need to look at that too, because it could actually come down to a win. I'll have to actually get that. I think they have a. Maurice actually was pulling up a board. I'm not exactly sure. It's like a. They have a board that shows all different types of mates. Like if in a like the queen and rook, if a king moves a certain amount of a certain area, it'll actually tell you how many moves till mate, and it'll actually outline all those moves for you. I forgot the name of the file that he used. It was like something about, it was something to do with a board or something like that, a guiding board or something like that. But it'll tell you where the king is, like in a bishop and knight versus a king, bishop, knight, king, or a rook or a queen and king versus rook and king. It'll tell you how many moves it takes for you to mate by which area you're where the king is, because they actually use that. Yeah, because they actually used that one time. Sabrina was facing Arena Crush, and she got to it was a pawn and queen and king versus a king and queen, and she ended up winning, but it was like 38 moves, and you had to do it just right. No, there is a win here. There's a win here. We have to stop the king from progressing any further. So if we have to look at bishop moves, like we want to stop the king from getting to d8, and if we could do that, a good move would be like bishop, either bishop b4 or bishop c5. But you want to actually state that'd be a good move, and then you'd want to move your bishop to like b6, and that would cut off the king from progressing any further. He wants to walk in front of his pawn to get over to a8. He would love to sacrifice his d pawn for his king getting over to a8, because it's the wrong colored square. So I want to stay farther away, so I'm thinking about queen b4 here. Okay, so he's coming up. I thought he would go across, but I guess he's got to go up. Let's see here. let's see, a4, king e6, a5, d5, a6, c c6. Oh, and then bishop c5. Oh, that's it. Yeah, the a4 pawn. This is how it goes here. a4, king e6, a5, king d5, a6, king c6, and then at the right moment we play bishop to c5. Bishop c5, very important move, and it supposedly, I think, cuts the king off at the knees of the position. Let's see if he moves the way we're thinking he's going to move. Okay, a4, a5. Okay. Alright, so do we push? I gotta make sure my calculation is 100% on. Let's see, do we play... I'm trying to think here, because a6 cuts off b7, and bishop to c5 cuts off, yeah. c5 looks winning. Oh, c5, that does look interesting. Well, wait a second. Yeah, I think this does work, because a6, if king c6, bishop c5, and if king c7, we push. But can he get there in time though? Drat, I have to. Oh no, I got it. My bad. No, I think it has something to do with a6. I got it. a6, king c6, and then bishop a5. It has to do with bishop a5, and that cuts him off from coming any closer. Then we bring our king into the fight at that point. We bring our king into the fight. He can't get any closer to that position. a6. And now that this square's cut off, bishop a5 is winning at this point. Bishop a5. He then has to somehow reroute. He actually can't come in at that point. And if he tries to attack our bishop, our pawn runs. So a5, bishop a5 has to be the move at this point. What do you guys think? Yep, we are right. Yay! So everybody thinks a5. Good. Nice work. That was an excellent endgame. You had to find this move. Oops, 1 second. The whole idea was based on a5 here. So like when the king came up here, we played a4 here, here a6, and here a5. And now there's no way to enter, and he'll have to go well, I guess he could push this pawn, and then we just get our king involved. Yeah. King b5, and then the pawn runs. a7, king takes, and then queens, and we win. There we go. There we go. Ooh, nice job at 2,900. Nice. Nice job, team. Oh. Oh boy, boy, boy. This is not good. They have 2 pawns, and they're 1 square away from queening. I have a feeling this has to do with a draw. But let's see if we can't do something more. Let's see here. I think it has something to do with like either a perpetual or we sacrifice our queen for like the h7 pawn, and he goes queen f3, and then he queens, and it's a draw. Something to do with a stalemate too. Let's see. There's a couple checks. Well, we have to do the queen elimination properly. There's two different actually three different types of checks, I believe. We have to look at queen a7 check, or queen d3 check, a3 check, yeah, d3, or queen queen d4 check. There's really only one that potentially would win a pawn. So, let's see here. I'm thinking. One sec. Let me get a drink of water. A little frog. Let's see. Queen a7. Why the sad face? Why the sad face? It potentially could work. Your idea of queen a7 could work. King d6. I don't think he'd lose his queen. I think you meant king e6, right? So it'd be like queen a7, check, king e6, queen b6, check, king e5, queen c5, and then king e4. I think that's what you were reading, or something like that. Am I close? I don't want to put the combination. I was just wondering if that's what you meant. Because I know you're right. You first have to go for the queen. This puts the pressure onto the queen. Oh, c6. Whoa. Oh yeah, we can't take, can we? Ah, man. That's not fun. We can't take, because if we took, then he'll go h8, queen check when he moves to g4. He'll go queen g8 check, and then we'll have to trade, and he'll be up a queen. Wow, that is a sneaky move. Very subtle. Very subtle of a move. Let's see here. So queen a6. Let's see about it's either queen a6. I'm looking at either queen a8 check, or queen a4 check, or queen a6 check. There's that. There's those checks there. No, oh, sorry, there's no a6. Sorry, I did, a6 was wrong. There's only these checks. Sorry about that. My bad. Oops. a6. a6, a6, a6. Yep. No, a6 is right. Then a4. Oh, there are. Yeah, I got it. That was right. A4, a6. Yep, they're all right. Yep, good. I did good on the checks. So we're all in agreement on a6. Okay. Do we go? Then we must go queen to a5 check. King c4. Then we go queen a4 check. King king c3 check. Queen a3 check. Queen b4 b3. Queen c5 check. And I think that's kind of what we have to do. Those type of checks. Because we can't take the queen. There we go. Are we all thinking of the line that we put in? What do you think, 360? Does queen a5 look okay? Check, and then we kind of do that line. We check up the board, and then we have to go queen c5 after that and start checking like that. What do you think? What do you think, Erie? Yep. Oh wow, he didn't do. Oh, he's gonna try to do that. Okay. That threw a kink in our plan. So I'm thinking maybe queen. Got to be careful because queen d2. Queen d2 check. Oh, and then we check along the second rank. Then we check along the second rank, don't we? We kind of check along until the 50 move sequence comes into play, huh? Because we really don't want to check on b4 because queen would go to c4, and then when we checked again when the king moved, our king would be in check. So that's why kind of queen d2 check is actually a good move. Oh yeah, diagonal checks actually it might be better. I didn't think about that. But I'm thinking though that the only problem with that line is I was looking at queen d2 and check. I'm thinking the only problem is he can go like e4 and then our potentially maybe c5 check and try to get close to his king. But if we check on queen to a1, I forgot there was a queen a1 check, and then he tries going king c4, we can go queen a2 check again, and we stay in the checks, but this time along the diagonal. I think we're better off with our diagonal checks. Then we can stay on the first rank, the farther away than we can, and we don't want to get his queen involved. So I'm thinking somewhere along the line, queen d2 allows for the queen to get into it. He'll go like c5, we check, then he'll go king d6, Then when we try to check again, he'll go queen to d5, cut off a lot of our stuff. But if we go along the diagonals, we should be fine here. Yeah. Yep, we're a team. We work together as a team. This is actually better. Let's see. I calculated it out in my mind. It's hard sometimes to express. Right here is what we're talking about. I'm thinking that if he plays here, king. Yep, king c4. If we come here, king b5. Or no, it's b5, right? What was it? Let me see. d5, b5, b5. Actually, d4 works too. b5 works. b4 works. And then when we try like checking here, he can actually come in here. But if we check along the A diagonal here, he can go c4 if he wants to. But then we check on. Do we check on a4? Oh, we go to a4 again. Ah, we stay. We do this again. Then if he goes king c5, we go a5 again. Okay, so when he goes, let's see here. So if he ever tries to go back, let's say back up here again to d4. We just come back to a1 again, and we just start kicking him down, and then we check. We check along here with our queen. Come on. We check along here. And then when he comes back up to this spot, we go right back up here, and then we force him down again along this side. We force him down here, and then when he comes back up and he goes right here again, we send our queen up. We just keep that line going. Okay. Oh boy, let me see here. And these endgames are sometimes complicated. Let's see, what do we have here? We have a better pawn structure, so we have only 2 pawn islands, and our opponent has 3. I'm kind of potentially looking at either g3 or f3. I think those are the only 2 the only reason I don't know about f3 is he's got h4. He has h4 at that point. But I guess I do see what you're saying. We in theory could after well, if he goes h4, then he passes the move to us. Let me see, g3. Let me see, g3, h4, g takes h4, g takes h4, and then king to f3. I think that might be an interesting line. And then if you oh, g4. Ooh. Okay. Well, I guess I did forget that move. That is a potential check, but it just looked too. I outrageous. Well, let's take a look at it. I'm open for all ideas on the board. If it F3 was a good move, it just allows H4, and see, G4 is a move I didn't consider. Check. Let's see if he plays king takes G4. Oh, king takes can't. It'd be H takes G4. Oh, duh! I can't believe this. This is the move. Then we go G3. And guess what happens? We pass the move to him. And then when he goes back, I have to put that in again. Then we approach with our king. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Here. This is funny. Okay, I gotta paste this in. Then now king has to let's say king goes to e6. King e6. King e4. King d6. And then king f5. King takes c. King takes c6. King takes e5. And then we can shoot our pawn up the board. We can actually shoot our pawn up the board. What do you guys think about that line? What do you guys think about my line? Oh, we're analyzing f3. Okay, we'll take a look at that. f3, h4. Let me see here. King f3. Oh no, you can't go f3 after that. King d3, e4, check. King e3, king e5, king e2, king d4, and he kind of locks us down. I think what happens is he starts pushing our king back, and then what he'll do is he'll trade off his e4 pawn or his e pawn and come and gobble f2, g2, and h3, and then he'll create his two passers on that side. Yeah. Let's take a look at let's see if g4 works. Wow. Oops, I was wrong. I don't know why I thought I could play g3. That's funny. I had g3 wrong. I need to recalibrate my calculation. So after g4 check, king takes g4, not king takes, sorry, h takes g4, that's funny. If h takes g4, check, king takes g4, king e4, he may have to go king to h5, king takes e5. Not sure. Let me see. Oh yeah, then we move our king up to. We get our king. We try to move our king up to d7 and take the c7 pawn. Yeah, let's do it. Now what we'll do is we'll take e5. He'll come to G2. We'll come up to E6. He'll take F2. We'll come to D7. He'll go G4. We take G3. King B7. G2. G1 queen, and then A queen, and then we come over. Is it too let me see here. Let's start with here. So it's 5, King G2, King E6, King King takes F2, King D7, G4, King takes C7, G3, King B7, G2, C7, G1 equals queen, C8 equals queen check. Wow, I gotta say that move does look very appealing. I didn't even consider F4. That's actually a very good move. So king takes E5, King G2, F4, G4, F5, King F2, F6, G3, F7, G2, F8 equals queen, G1 equals queen. I'm not sure. Are we all in agreement on at least king takes E5? Because I'm thinking that might be it. Okay, so we're in agreement on that one. Interesting. I didn't even think about we can actually bring our king over to. That's even a lot smoother. King F. Hey, I'm even improving here. King F5 is an interesting move. Let's see. King F5. King takes F2. Oops. King takes. Actually, it would be. Say king F5, king takes G2, let's see, f5, king takes g2. Oh, let me see. Let's see this on f5. King takes f2. Takes g5. King e3. King f6. King d4. King e6. King c c5. And then king d7. I think we may lose in that line. I'm just, because it all goes back to a Jeremy Silman lesson. I think it's called Trebuchet or something like that. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but he talks about that it heads towards something called Zugzwangp, and then at a point it's whoever moves wins. So, yeah, I'm thinking f4 has to be the move. Oh, so we take, okay. Wow. Yeah, I'll show you. I wanted to do it on the board. It's important that we see this here. And if takes, and then black wins because he gets this move, then what happens is we can go in front. He takes. Actually, I'm trying to see what can he actually do here. He takes C. Oh yeah, we can't go in front. Yeah, he takes. Then when we move here, he moves here, and then he comes up the board. But with f4, takes, and then king takes, we block him out. King f2, king f5, or e5. And here, king e6, king d, and when he comes here, we grab the pawn. He comes there. We come. If he tries to come around, it's too late. We come up in queen. Do you have any games you'd like to go over? Because we can go over some games if you'd like. One of your games. It's always good to go over those end games because a lot of games are won in the end game. Okay. Oh, I think I may have this one. I want to see if I got this one right here. Okay, rook takes f1 check. Queen takes f1. Bishop takes g2. If queen takes g2, no, no, that wouldn't work because the bishop could enter. I was looking to see if I missed that the bishop. I was gonna try to do d1, then the queen would have to go back to g1, and then we could play queen takes or queen takes g1 mate. But I forgot that he has a bishop that can actually, when the queen gets there, yeah. Oh, that's a mate too. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, 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 wow. Yeah. Nice. Rook takes f1. If queen takes f1, which is forced, rook d1. If queen takes d1, bishop takes g2 is mate. Oops. So it was right. B. Oh, snap. I had the right answer. So close. We had it almost. I can't believe I doubted myself. That's not fun. I thought that this wouldn't work because of this check here. I thought that if that was played, that it wouldn't, that you couldn't take here. But I forgot that after takes here, this is mate. Oh, I didn't push it one move further. Actually, two moves further, and then it's mate here. Drat! I should have taken it two more moves out. So close to mate. I know, but still, we should have nailed that puzzle. That was right in your face. I can't believe I didn't take it two more steps. I gotta do that next time. You gotta, yeah. Yeah. Well, it teaches me that you can't be half-hearted going into these. You have to be the king of the jungle, Tarzan kind of like, and you have to be Leo the lion. You got to be fearless, and you have to be okay to calculate even the most obscure line to see if it works. Because maybe that line, if you take it one more move out, could be the line that gives you that W that makes you number one. Okay, let's see, what do we got here? We have a check though. We have queen c2 check. So we have queen c2 check, king e5, queen d4. So rook f2, rook e2, f takes. Yeah, let's go with it. And then I like your line. I think it does work. We just got to take it one more move. I think that was the only, because my line c2, he can actually go to e5 and it doesn't work. So that's kind of the only move of pushing. So let's see here. Queen takes e2, e2 check. If king d5, we have queen b5 check, and we have like a perpetual type of setup. Or would queen d3 be let's see, queen d3. That might win a, oh, that I think that does win material. Queen d3, queen d3 check. If king e6, we have queen takes b6 check, king f7, and then queen takes h6. So like queen d3, d3 check. If king e5, queen d4 check. If king then would have to go up to like f6. Queen takes b6, king g7. Maybe we could pick up the rook or something like that. King b5. Queen b5. Okay, let's take a look at that. Queen b5. Oops, not b6. b5 check. King e4. What can we do after king e4? Just trying to think. What can we do after king e4? Do we go king e8, or do we go king e2 again? Do we if we king e4, can we actually go queen e2 check again? Can we actually do that back and forth? Yeah, I think it's a perpetual at this point. I think we can actually go queen e2 check, king d5, queen b5 check, king e4, queen e2 check, and we get a perpetual. I think it's a perpet. I think we can even perpet with queen d3 check on that, king e5, queen b5 check, king e4, queen d3, check, and we get a perpet that way too. So I'm not sure. Do you have any other lines that I may be overlooking something? So d3. Okay, so let's go with that line. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think you're right here. Wow, that is queen d4. Check. He would have to go king to e6. Queen takes b6. Check. King f7. Oh, it is our idea. And then queen takes h6. Yay. So that goes back to our idea. Hooray. That one idea line that we were looking at, that goes back to that line. And this time it wins a knight and a queen. I'm happy, happy, happy on that one. Let's do it. Yay! Happy, happy, happy. Oh boy, let me see here. Let's see if rook g8 check, king h7, king f7, h2, rook trying to think. This one's a tough one because it's yeah, let's do it. Let's go with that. I like your idea, Erie. I like that idea. Oh wow, he played f5. Okay. Well, okay. I think we cap it at this point then. Does rook take h3 and then g4? I'm thinking that we take. Do we take? What's your opinion on this? I don't know if rook g8, can he go king to h5, and then if we check, h8 again, he can actually go king g4 and then escort the pawn down. Oh, wait a second. You're right. I think you're right. I think it does work. Hold on. Let me yeah, let me recalibrate. Yeah, the my thinking there again. Rook, you're right. G8 check. King H5 and then king takes F5. If well, oh, king H7. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with the rook takes h4. I have to agree with rook takes h4 on this one. The other one's too risky on our setup here, because we'll go over each line though, because it's very important here. Oops, wait a second. There, here. F5. If we played here, I think it's winning. I think it's a draw here. And if king takes h4, h8. Yeah, he's made it. h2, king f5. If he checks, it's a draw. And we can actually just do that, and it's stalemate. So, but if we take here, and we played there, rook, I think it's G, is it rook h8? Rook h8's mate. Okay, oh, okay, because then if king g7, rook to a8, then if he goes here, he takes, he comes there, then we actually can come down here and grab this. Okay, gotcha. We'll do one more, and if you have any games, I'd be more than happy to go over them. If you don't, we'll end on this one game that I'm picking out from eBirch. It's a French defense, a really good one. Yeah. Queenie, okay. We'll go over our game now, because I promised that we would, after that one, go over a game. It's a shorter game, but we'll go over it. So it's an interesting one. See, oops, I have to turn the board. Hold on, we want to look at it from the French defense's side. There we go. It's the exchange. And then f5. You can Varcobian has one that you can do copy, the copycat line. I think it goes all the way to like move 17. See, this is actually a mistake. I'm trying to remember what. I think he played something like this, and then he kicked our bishop. Yeah, that was right. H3, and then when we retreated back, this move was a slight inaccurate move. Because our goal is actually to get our bishop back to G2, so like if this here, this would be our optimum goal. Now we're going to play against his weaknesses. Oh, yeah, you always have to. Yeah, you have to always keep studying. It's the chess cruncher way. D6. I believe, I'm trying to remember, Ginger talked about if he plays bishop D here, you can actually break with C5, I believe, and after takes, you take here, knight comes in, and then what you do is you play around the isolated pawn. And if castles, knight here, rook there, castles, and now you start playing around this isolated pawn. It's dynamic play, what you're looking for. And White's best opportunity, Ginger said, was actually, our Grandmaster Simon Williams, was C4, because then with takes, the bishop could actually come out. But you may wait for that and play knight here, and then if he takes, you can actually barricade the pawn with your knight. But this is also, if you don't want to do that, but you just want to play more solid, he says C6 is always a good line. It's just going to be a longer, drawn-out game, and you just develop your pieces. If you have something like this, you just develop your pieces, and then you have something like this setup here, and you could just develop. So, but you can do this line too. This is an interesting line. It's targeting H2. Knight C6, bishop G5, knight. Yeah, that blocks the queen. C3, bishop G4, knight BD2, queen D7 at that point. Now we're pretty good H3 and F5. Bishop F5. This gets rid of our bishop, but remember, this is our bad bishop anyways, so we're happy to get rid of it and keep our good bishop. Bishop check. Takes. F5. Now we're getting ready to attack the pin piece. G5 is actually played here. Sorry, G5. Oh boy. That attacks the queen. So G6, G3, and then H6, knight GF, F4. Now we're tearing open the position. Takes, knight takes, F takes, knight takes, and then castles kingside, castle queenside, castle kingside, and then king C2, rook F6, and we're now trying to get a doubled position and take scope there. E1, rook A F8, bishop takes F4, rook takes F4, knight D3, rook H4, bishop rook G or DG1, knight E7, and we're trying to get our pieces back in. Where it's kind of going to be a little difficult to do that because we really, this is a sensitive spot. So G4, H5, King D1, and Rook. So potentially we can actually go King H2 and something similar to that. A2, G. Interesting way of getting your knight back in. Check. Knight takes, bishop takes. Knight G3. Bishop takes knight. Rook takes. You could also take with the pawn here if you wanted to, and then play a more symmetrical game. But I'm thinking that Rook HF is kind of really strong here. So you just have checks along here. So A3, Rook B6 to attack the pawn, B4, Rook A6, Rook H, and Rook F7. And now we can start actually taking puck shots at this. He can't play here because he'll lose a pawn. So this is always going to be a weakness, and he can't push it, otherwise he loses it. So we've actually won a pawn. Got allergies, allergy season. Do you have any games? Let's see how we're doing on time. Do you guys have any games you would like to go over? Let's see. Let's see here. Well, I'll see if I have a game that I can pull up. Then we'll just go over one of mine, and then I just gotta call it a day. Allergies are not fun sometimes. I may call it just a little early. Come on, come on. I'll pull up. I'll see if I have a good French defense one that I won. Hold on, let me see here. Okay. I think we have a good one here. This is a Steinitz French. I'm black. Okay, it was a 28 move. Perfect. We'll put it into a little analyze board. Okay. E4, this is I'm black. E6, C4, D5. C takes D5, E takes D5. E takes D5, Queen takes D5, Knight C3, and then I checked Bishop E. This is the only way that if black wants to get, or white wants to get a counterplay. If he plays here, you could just actually trade, and then with this type of a weakness that white has, you can play against his weak pawn. So he kept the pieces on. Queen G4, or Bishop G4, F3, Bishop E6. Trying to come around a different way. They go after him. C2, Knight C6. Also, this is a playable now. This fork. E takes, pawn takes. I castle queen side. H3, Bishop D4. King D1, Knight F6. There, I took the bishop at this point because I thought about, at this point it's beneficial for me to keep the two bishops on the, I have the bishop pair, which is very important. King d1, bishop c5, takes, and I pick up a pawn, so I'm actually good, and now I'm about to win another one. King c7, I pick up 2 pawns, and I take. Rook d1, he8, bishop e2, rook e2. I'm going to try to get another pawn if I can get it. Rook g1, and then I go out to there, rook a8. I grab another pawn. So I'm like, I'm munching pawns, munch. You can see there, rook a5. I think I might have been low in time here. I'm not sure if that was the best idea. I think probably this at this moment would have been better. b5, and if here I could actually play c5, and if he pushes, alright, I could actually push right away. I don't have to go c5, I could just push. Then when he comes straight down, I pick up a piece. And I took, and it's basically game over at this point. I could just move. He can't walk on the light squares, so he'd potentially have to like move here. Then rook check. So I have to be careful there. This would have been an interesting game to have played out, but he did resign at this point here. At this point, because now I'm up actually a whole piece in 3 pawns, so 6 pawns. That's enough to basically, with proper time, I would be able to win. Okay, so let's well then call it a day. I appreciate y'all coming on and logging on. You know what? You gotta, sometimes even if you got allergies and stuff, it doesn't matter. You have to put in the time. Put in the time. You have to make time for chess. That's what chess crunchers do. We make time. And we have to remember, we become what we think about. So if you think positive thoughts, it's not like, everything's going to work out, great and everything. But I mean, you at least set yourself up for a positive experience. Like if you say to yourself, I've studied chess, I've done my best. Now when I sit down at the over the board game, I am ready, and that I'm good, and then just play. And if you have a problem with like rating or something, and you look at the rating and you have rating fear, just don't look at the rating. Jeremy Silman actually talked about that. He used to have rating fear of players, and one time he actually didn't he didn't look at the rating, and he faced a player that was like 2100, and he ended up beating the player that was 2100. And after that, he said that was a breaking point for him, in a good way to know that he's good enough to beat 2100s. Beforehand, he'd look at the rating, and then it would affect his play. So that's just some helpful advice if you have rating fears. Just look at the name and the board and which side you're playing. Don't look at your opponent's rating, and play your game. Bruce Lee said, "There are no limits, there are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond the plateau that you're at." And that's what we're doing. Every day, we're getting a little better every day. Yasser Seirawan, Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan said, "Every long journey begins with one small step." And Bruce Lee said that, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." So like when we sit down, we do our tactics, we study. That's strong, because we're practicing our tactics so that when we sit down at the board, we've done like what Bruce Lee said. We practiced our tactics 10,000 times till we know when we look at that board and we see, oh, I mean, 3 moves down the road, if I play this, 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 and this, I could set up for a fork. Yeah. Or if I play a quiet move and it kind of looks odd, but it actually works for a tactic, I can set up this beautiful tactic, and then you win. And like Tom Dum-Dum said, life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. And you have to always remember that mistakes don't define you. It's how you handle the mistakes that define you as a chess player and the field that you're in. Knowing is not enough, you must apply, and willing is not enough, you must do. That's a Bruce Lee thing that we have to keep in mind. And you know what? You have to always remember that don't let the weedy fields in your life, the fields that have weeds come up, that basically sap your time from doing what you're supposed to do. Fight those through the Lord, and He'll renew your strength and help you to get through those things. It's tempting, but trust me, when you sit at that board and you've done your studies, it's so worth it. And like what Job says, we have to always be in remembrance of the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. And what do we do, like what Tigger says, when we're studying and others aren't studying? They come over and they ask you what you're doing. I'm a chest cruncher. What's a chest cruncher? We hang up our coat, we hang up our hat, we sit down and study when most won't, we do, and that makes all the difference. And that's Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus. And as I say, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, and evening, and Lord willing, we'll shoot for that 2800 level marker, and we'll get there. Slow and steady wins the race. Remember the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise didn't rest, and he made it. And let me see, what was I going to say? I think that's, oh yeah, if you if you like what you're seeing, you're still on listening to me, click follow and join us on our journey for improving in chess. And to, you know what, honor the Lord with our abilities. Great job. Go Team Chess Cruncher. Hoorah, be blessed, and we're going to do it. 2 thumbs up, keep studying and being chess crunchers. Bye-bye.